They're not even up yet.
With the steamer being so late, and the mistress would insist on unpacking so much before she would go to bed.
Well, let them sleep. Sleep as long as they like. But when they do get up, they'll certainly need a breath of fresh air. So, now you have a new mistress, Berta. Heaven knows it was difficult enough for me to part with you.
And for me too, Miss Julianne. After all those years with you and Miss Rena. Poor thing lying there helpless. How will she manage?
We'll just have to make the best of it, Berta. George needs you. He really does. You've looked after him since he was a little boy.
But there's another thing, Miss Julianne. I'm so afraid I won't please the new mistress. She's so particular.
Oh, that's only natural, dear. After all, she's General Gabler's daughter. She was used to being spoiled when her father was alive. Do you remember when we used to see her out on her horse? How smart she always looked in her riding clothes.
Oh, I never thought I'd live to see the day when she and Master George would make a match of it.
Neither did I. By the way, Berta, you mustn't call him Master George any longer. It's Dr. Tesman now.
He has but one cow, so they say. Tom Fiddler.
Good morning, my dear George. Good morning.
Aunt Julie, you've come all this way so early in the morning. You got back from the pier all right, eh?
Yes, quite all right, dear, thank you. Judge Brack saw me all the way home to my front door.
I was sorry we didn't offer you a lift, but you know, Hedda had such a mountain of luggage. Would you take that for me,
Yes,
Berta?
sir, I'll put it in the attic.
Uh-huh. Do you know, Aunt Julie, I had that suitcase crammed full of notes. You've no idea how much I discovered from those archives I examined. Curious old details no one had any idea existed.
You certainly don't seem to have wasted your time on your wedding trip.
No, I certainly haven't. Well, take your hat off, Aunt Julie, eh? Can I help you?
Thank you, dear.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's a very elegant hat you've got now, Aunt Julie.
I bought that on Hedda's account. I didn't want her to feel ashamed of her old aunt in case we should happen to go out together.
Dear Aunt Julie, you think of everything, huh? Now, come on, sit down and let's have a cozy chat.
Oh, it's good to see you again. And to know that you still have a place in your heart for your old aunts.
Tell me, Aunt Rena, she isn't any better?
No, dear. I'm afraid she'll never be any better, poor soul. Now that I no longer have you to look after, I don't quite know what will become of me when she goes.
No, there.
Oh, it seems such an age that you were away, George. 5 whole months.
Well, 6. 6, yeah.
Forgive me, dear. Now, tell me, George, have you been over the house yet?
Oh, yes, it's splendid. It's simply splendid. It's awfully big, though. I don't know what we're going to do with all those empty rooms.
My dear George, I expect you'll find plenty of use for them a little later on.
Oh, I expect so. When I get more and more books, you mean, eh?
Yes, dear. It was your books I was thinking of.
No, but I'm especially pleased for Hedda. Do you know, she'd always set her heart on living in this place. It belonged to Secretary Falk, you know, the cabinet minister. Even before we were engaged, she used to say this is the one place she'd really like to live in.
Yes, but I'm afraid you're going to find all this very expensive, my dear George. Very expensive.
Oh, no. Judge Brack wrote to Hedda that he'd been able to secure very favourable terms for me.
But you mustn't worry about it, my dear. In the first place, I've given security for all the carpets and the curtains.
Security? What kind of security?
I borrowed on our annuity.
But, my dear Aunt Julie, you must be mad, simply mad. That annuity is all that you and Aunt Rena have to live on.
Oh, don't get so excited about it, dear. It's only a matter of form, Judge Brack says.
Yes, that's all very well, but...
The only happiness I have in the world is making things easier for you, dear. Now you've nothing to stand in your way. You'll have your own salary, and soon your new book will appear. What's it to be about, George?
Well, it's about the domestic handicrafts of Brabant in the Middle Ages.
Gracious, fancy being able to write about such things. And best of all, you have your wife. The wife you've longed for.
Yes, she's the most wonderful part of it all, Aunt Julie. I expect a few of my friends are a little bit jealous of me, eh?
Good morning, Hedda. Good morning.
What an early visitor you are. How kind of you.
Not at all. And did the bride sleep well in her new home?
Thank you. fairly well.
I like that, Hedda. You were sleeping like a log when I got up.
Fortunately. Oh, good heavens, what a nuisance. That maid has opened the window and let in a whole flood of sunlight.
Oh, well, we'll just close it again.
No, don't do that. Just draw the curtains, George. That will give us softer light.
There, Hedda. Now you have both shade and fresh air.
Heaven knows we need some fresh air. Oh, do sit down, my dear Miss Tesman.
No, I won't, thank you, my dear. Now that I know everything's all right here, I must be getting back to my poor sister.
Well, give Aunt Rena my love and tell her I'll come in and see her this afternoon.
Yes, dear, I will. Oh, good gracious me, I was almost forgetting. I've brought something for you.
Oh, what is it, eh? Oh, how very touching. My slippers, Hedda, my old bedroom slippers.
I remember. You spoke of them often on our wedding trip.
But I can't tell you how many times I've missed these. Look, do look at
We
them,
shall
Hedda.
never get on with this servant, George.
Not get on with Berta.
But look, she's left her old hat lying on the chair.
But, Hedda,
Well,
dear,
think if someone were to come in and see it.
Hedda, dear, that's Aunt Yulia's hat.
Oh, is it?
Yes, indeed it is. And what's more, it's not old.
Oh, I didn't look very closely, Miss Tesman.
It's a beautiful hat. It's beautiful.
Oh, it's not as beautiful as all that. Now, what did I do with my parasol? Ah, here it is. For this is mine, too, not Berta's.
A new hat and a new parasol. Think of that, Hedda, eh?
Lovely, I'm sure.
Aunt Yuli, look at Hedda. Isn't she lovely? Do you know, I think she's looking even specially well. I think she may have filled out a little while we...
Filled out?
Well, you may not be able to notice it so much in that loose dress, but I have certain opportunities.
Well, you have no opportunities at all, George.
It may have been the mountain air in
I'm
the
just as
Tyrol.
I was when we left.
Lovely. Lovely, lovely is Hedda. God bless and keep you, Hedda Tesman, for George's sake. Oh, please let me go. I shan't let a day pass without coming to see you.
Yes, do that, Aunt Yuli, do that.
Goodbye, my dearest Hedda. Goodbye. How proud your poor father would be if he could see what a great man his little boy has become.
Well, you become like a father and a mother to me, Aunt Yulia. I'll never forget it. Well, now, you tell Aunt Rena I'll be in, well, sometimes If you could manage just to be a little more affectionate with her, for my sake, eh?
I shall try to call her aunt. But that's really all I can do.
What are you looking at, Hedda?
I'm just looking at the leaves. They are so yellow and withered.
Well, we're well into September now.
September. Here's September already.
Is there something the matter, Hedda, dear?
Excuse me, Mrs. Desmond. Mrs. Elfstead is here. She called earlier this morning. She brought those flowers.
Sheriff Elfsted's wife, the one who was Miss Reesing.
Yes, ask her to come in. Here's the girl with the mass of hair. She was always showing off. An old flame of yours, I've heard.
Oh, that didn't last long. That was before I met you, Hedda. I wonder what she's doing in town.
I haven't seen her for years. Why should she call on us? Oh, my dear Mrs. Elfstead, I'm delighted to see you again.
It's been a very long time.
It's been a long time since we met, too.
Thank you for your lovely flowers.
I arrived in town yesterday morning. I was so upset not to find you at home.
Oh, I hope you're not in any trouble.
Well, yes. Yes, I am. And there was no one else here I could possibly turn to.
Please sit down. Do sit down there. Is anything wrong at home?
Well, yes. Yes and no. I do hope you won't misunderstand me. Well, I suppose you've already heard. Islet Lovborg is back in town, too.
What? Islet Lovborg's come back? Oh, think of that, Hedda, eh?
Yes, I heard.
I'm so afraid he may get into trouble.
But, my dear Mrs. Elfstead, why should you be so worried about him?
Oh, well, you see, he's the children's tutor.
Oh, your children?
Oh, no, my stepchildren, my husband's. I've none myself.
But is Islet, well, dependable enough for such a position?
For the past 2 years, his conduct has been irreproachable.
Well, fancy that, Hedda.
Yes, I heard.
Irreproachable in every respect. Well, after his book was published...
What do you mean? Islet Lovborg's published a new book? What, recently?
Oh, yes, a wonderful book, a sort of outline of civilization. It came out a couple of weeks ago, sold marvelously, made quite a sensation.
Oh, I suppose it was something that he wrote some time ago during his, well, better period.
Oh, no. He's written it all while he's been with us.
Have you seen him in town?
No, not yet. I had difficulty in finding his address, but this morning I finally got it.
Doesn't it seem odd of your husband, well, to send you on such an errand? Why didn't he come to look after his friend?
Oh, no, he's so busy, you see, and besides, I had some shopping to do.
Yes, I see.
Please, Mr. Tesman, I'm sure Eilert Lovborg will come here to see you. You and he were such great friends. I'd be grateful if you keep an eye on him.
I should be delighted to. Well, you can rely on me.
Oh, how kind of you. You see, my husband is so very fond of him.
Yes, of course. Oh, I think you should write him, George. He may not want to come on his own accord.
I'll write to him this very minute. Yes. Have you his address, Mrs. Elstead?
Oh, yes. Here it is.
Splendid.
Write him a nice, friendly letter, and a good long one, too.
I certainly will.
Oh, but don't let him know that I suggested it.
What? Oh, no, not a word.
There. You see, we've killed 2 birds with 1 stone.
But what do you mean?
But couldn't you see that I wanted to get rid of him so I could talk to you alone?
But there's nothing to tell, Mrs. Tesman. Absolutely nothing.
Of course there is. I can see that. There is a great deal more to tell. Now we'll have a nice, friendly talk. I want to know all about your life at home.
I'd prefer not to speak about that.
Oh, but to me, my dear, after all, we went to school together.
Yes, but you were in a higher class than I was, and I was so terribly afraid of you then.
Afraid of me?
Yes. When we met on the stairs, you always used to pull my hair.
Oh, did I really?
And once you said you'd burn it all off.
Oh, but I was only teasing you, of course. Then...
I was so silly in those days, and afterwards we drifted so far apart.
Yes, then we must drift together again. Come, let us sit down over here. There. Oh, thank you. In school, we used to call each other by our first names. Why don't we now?
Oh, I think you're mistaken.
Of course not. I remember very well. We were great friends, so you shall call me Hedda, and I shall call you my dear little Tora.
My name is Thea.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, of course. I meant Thea. Tell me, Thea, I'm a little vague about it, but when you first went to the Elfsteds, you were engaged as housekeeper.
Oh, no. Well, you see, Mrs. Tesman,
Oh, no.
Well, you see, Hedda, I was supposed to go as governess, but Mrs. Elstead, well, the first Mrs. Elstead, that is, well, she was an invalid and rarely left her room, so I had to take charge of the house as well.
And eventually you became mistress of the house.
Yes, I married him.
Yes. How long ago was that?
5 years ago.
Oh, yes, that's right. And Eilert Lovborg has lived near you about 3 years, hasn't he?
Eilert Lovborg? Why, yes, he has.
I suppose you saw a good deal of him.
Oh, yes, he came to the house every day to give the children lessons, you see.
And your husband is away a great deal, I suppose?
Oh, yes, as sheriff, he often has to travel about his district.
But, my dear, isn't he far too old for you, really? There must be at least 20 years between you.
Yes, that's what makes it so difficult, and we haven't a thought in common. Nothing, in fact.
Is he kind to you?
I think he finds me useful. I don't think he cares for anyone except himself, and perhaps the children. A little.
And Eilert Lovborg, yeah.
Eilert Lovborg. What makes you say that?
Oh, but that's obvious. He sends you all this way just to look for him. At least that's what you told George.
Yes, I suppose I did. My husband knew nothing about my coming here.
Oh, your husband didn't know?
He was away himself at the time. I couldn't stand it any longer, Hedda. I felt so alone, so deserted.
Yes, well.
I packed a few of my things. I didn't tell anyone. I simply left the house and took the next train to town.
Well, how did you dare? What will your husband say when you go home again?
Back to him? I shall never go back to him again.
But what will people say about you, Thea?
They can say whatever they like. I did what I had to do. If I'm to live at all, I must live near Eilert Lovborg.
Oh. How did this friendship start between you and Eilert Lovborg?
Oh, it grew gradually. I began to have a sort of power over him.
Power?
Yes. After a while, he gave up his old habits. Oh, not because I asked him to, but because I suppose he realized how unhappy they made me, and so he dropped them.
So you have actually reformed him, you little dear.
Well, he says so, and in return, he's taught me how to live.
He gave you lessons, too.
Well, not lessons exactly. He talked to me, explained things to me. And the most wonderful thing of all was when he allowed me to share in his work, allowed me to help him.
He did he?
Yes, he wanted me to be a part of everything he wrote.
Like two good comrades.
Comrades? Why, Hedda, that's exactly what he says. I ought to be so happy, and yet somehow I'm not. I'm so afraid it may not last.
So you're not sure of him, then?
Something stands between Eilert Lovborg and me. The shadow of another woman.
Who could that be?
I don't know. Someone he knew a long time ago. Someone he never seems able to forget.
Has he told you anything about her?
He talked about her once, quite vaguely.
What did he say?
He said that when they parted, she threatened to shoot him.
Oh, nonsense. No one we know does that sort of thing.
That's why I think it must have been that red-haired cabaret singer he was once so friendly. They say she went about with loaded pistols.
Then it must have been she.
And Hedda, they say she's here in town again. Oh, I'm so worried I don't know what to do.
Yeah, my dear, don't be so worried. Desmond will take care of everything. There.
Oh, Hedda, you're so understanding, so kind.
Well, I hope your wife's pleased with everything.
We just can't thank you enough, Judge Brack. Of course, she wants to rearrange a few things, and she's talking of buying a few additional trifles.
Perhaps it might be wiser to be a bit more economical.
Oh, well, you know Hedda, Judge. She's accustomed to a certain standard of living.
Yes, that's just the trouble.
In any case, I shall soon be receiving my appointment, eh?
Well, you see, such things sometimes hang fire.
You've heard something further, eh?
No, nothing really definite. I've one bit of news for you. Your old friend Eilert Lovborg's back in town.
Yes, I knew that already. I wonder what on earth he'll do, how he'll manage to make a living.
Oh, isn't that just like Tesman? Always worrying about how people are going to make a living. What fun to have a look at you by daylight, Judge.
You find me altered?
Oh, a little younger, I think.
Oh, thank you very much.
We were talking about Eilert Lovborg, dear.
Oh, I hear they've quite reformed him up at the Elfstead.
Well, I wonder what on earth he's going to do. I've written him a letter, by the way. I asked him to come and see me this evening.
Oh, but you're coming to my stag party this evening. Don't forget you promised me last night on the pier.
Oh, have you forgotten, Desmond?
I'm afraid I have.
In any case, I think you can be pretty certain Lovborg won't come here.
Oh? Why shouldn't he?
Well, my dear Tesman, and you too, Mrs. Tesman, I think it's only right that I should inform you of something. I think you ought to be prepared to find your appointment deferred rather longer than you expected.
Has something happened to prevent it, eh?
The nomination may depend on the result of a competition.
Competition? Think of that, Hedda, eh? But who would my competitor be?
Eilert Lovborg.
Oh, no, that's impossible. That's utterly unbelievable.
Well, it may happen, nevertheless.
No, but that would be incredibly unfair to me, Judge Brack. I mean, I'm a married man. Hedda and I married on these prospects. Think of the money we've spent, eh? And we borrowed from Aunt Yulie, too. After all, they practically promised me the appointment.
Well, don't get so excited. You'll probably get the appointment anyway, only you'll have to compete for it.
I think, George, it will take quite a sporting interest.
How can you be so indifferent about it, Hedda, dear?
Indifferent? I'm not in the least indifferent. I can hardly wait to see which of you will win.
In any case, I thought I ought to warn you, Mrs. Tesman. Under the circumstances, it might be better to go easy on those additional trifles you were thinking of buying.
I don't see how that could possibly make any difference, my dear Judge.
Really? Well, then I've no more to say. Goodbye. I'll call for you this evening.
Yes.
Then I'll see you later, Judge.
Thank you, Mrs. Tesman. Goodbye.
Well, you're happy. Oh, Hedda. We should never rush into adventures, should we?
Do you do that, George?
Well, what else can you call it? To get married, settle down on mere expectations.
Yes, you may be right.
Well, at any rate, we have our beautiful home, eh? The home we always dreamed of.
I counted on doing a lot of entertaining. That was part of our agreement, I thought.
Yes.
We were to keep open house.
I was looking forward to it too, Hedda dear, to see you, a brilliant hostess surrounded with distinguished guests. But no, we'll just have to make do for the time being, dear. After all, we can be happy in each other, and we can ask Aunt Yulie in every now and then. But I did want it to be so different, Hedda. Oh, so very different.
I suppose this means I have to do without a butler.
Oh, I'm afraid a butler's quite out of the question.
Yes, and you promised me a riding horse. Do you remember? That's out of the question, too, I suppose.
I'm afraid so, Hedda dear.
Money, always money. And this genteel poverty that makes life so hideous, so utterly ludicrous. At least I have one thing to amuse myself with.
Thank heavens for that. What is it, Hedda?
My pistols, George. General Gabler's pistols.
Oh, no, please, Hedda, don't play with those dangerous things. Please, for my sake, Hedda.
Welcome back, Judge. Now I'm going to shoot you.
Don't aim at me
That's
like
what
that.
you get for sneaking in the back way.
Have you gone completely mad?
Good heavens, I didn't hit you by any way.
I wish you'd stop all this nonsense.
Come along, Judge. I'll let you pass. Come along. Come along. Oh.
Still playing about with pistols. What are you shooting at?
Just killing time, shooting up into the blue.
Allow me. I know this pistol. I've seen it before. Where's the case for it? That game's over for today.
Good heavens, what am I to do with myself all day long?
What, isn't Tesman at home?
No, he just rushed off to his aunt's directly after lunch. He didn't expect you so early.
Fancy my not thinking of that. How stupid of me.
Why stupid?
Because I should have come even earlier.
Then you would have found no one to receive you, for I've been dressing ever since lunch.
But isn't there a little crack in the door through which one might converse?
You forgot to provide one, Judge.
Again, stupid of me.
We must just sit here and wait until Tesman comes. He may not be here for quite some time.
Never mind. I shan't be impatient.
Well, I ask first.
Let's have a really pleasant little talk, shall we? Mrs. Hedda?
It seems ages since our last little talk, doesn't it, Judge?
Every single day I wished you were home again.
I wish that too.
You have? Really, Mrs. Hedda? But I thought you were having such a fine time on your honeymoon.
I can't tell you, Judge, how bored I've been. How would you like to spend 6 months without meeting a soul you could really talk to?
I shouldn't like it at all.
But the most unendurable thing of all was
What?
to be everlastingly with one and the same person.
Yes. Morning, noon, and night.
I said everlasting.
But surely it's not so unbearable with someone you love?
Don't use that impulsive word.
What's that, Mrs. Hedda?
Just you try it. Nothing but his special subject. Medieval history, morning, noon, and night.
Everlastingly. But if that case, how did it happen
That
that...
I married Tesman, you mean? Is there anything so very odd in that? I had literally danced myself tired, and I wasn't getting any younger. Oh, I don't want to think about it. After all, one has to admit that George Tesman is a thoroughly worthy man.
A worthy, reliable man. There's no question of that.
And I don't see anything especially funny about him, do you?
Funny? No, not really, no. I wouldn't say that.
Well, he is a distinguished scholar. And since he was so bent on supporting me, I didn't see why I shouldn't accept his offer.
Well, if you look at it from that point of view...
That was more than some of my other admirers were prepared to do, my dear Judge.
Oh, well, of course, I can't answer for the others. I have a great respect for the state of matrimony. But I must admit, as an individual...
I've never had any hopes as far as you're concerned.
All I ask of life is to know a few people intimately, nice people whom I can help and advise, and in whose houses I can come and go as a trusted friend.
Of the master of the house?
Well, of the mistress, preferably. But of the master, too, of course. I find such a triangular friendship, if I could call it so, a great convenience to all concerned.
I must admit, heaven knows a third person would have been welcome on our journey. Oh, those infernal tete-a-tete.
Well, cheer up. Your wedding tour's over now.
No, not really. We've only stopped at the station on the line.
Then the thing to do, Mrs. Hedda, is to jump out and stretch a bit.
I never jump out.
Really? Why not?
There's always someone there to...
Stare at your legs.
Precisely. I don't like that sort of thing. I'd rather keep my seat and continue the tete-a-tete.
But if a third person were to jump in and join the couple, a trusted, understanding friend,
Gay and entertaining in a variety of ways.
and not a bit of a medieval specialist.
Oh, that certainly would be a great relief.
Hedda!
Yes, George.
The triangle is completed.
And on goes the tray.
I'm positively sweating, dear. Oh, you're here already, Judge.
Oh, George, what are all those books?
Oh, they're just some new books which touch on my special subject. I simply had to have them.
Yes, your special subject.
On his special subject, Mrs. Tesman.
Well, one must keep up with the latest publications.
Yes, I suppose one does.
Oh, look, I've got Eilert Lovborg's new book. Would you care to see it, dear?
Perhaps later.
Well, I'd been glancing at it on my way home.
What do you think of it? As a specialist, I mean.
Well, do you know, he handles this vast subject with the greatest restraint. It's quite remarkable. I've never known him write like that before. Well, I'll just take all these into the library. I just want to cut a few pages. And well, then I suppose I'd better change for dinner, eh?
There's no hurry.
Oh, it's Hedda. Aunt Yulie is afraid she can't come in this evening.
Oh, is she still annoyed about the hat?
No, that's not that. Wouldn't be a bit like her, but Aunt Rena is very ill.
She always is.
Yes, but tonight she's even worse, and Aunt Yulie feels that she ought to stay with her.
I shall try and bear it. Oh, those eternal aunts.
Did you say something, dear?
Nothing.
What was that about a hat?
This morning, Miss Tesman had taken her hat off and left it on the chair. And I pretended to think it was the servant.
Why, Mrs. Hedda, how could you do such a thing to that nice old lady?
Well, I don't know. I sometimes get impulses like that, and I just can't control them. I can't explain it even to myself.
You're not really happy, are you?
I don't see why I should be happy.
Well, here you are in the house you've always longed to live in.
Do you believe in that fairy tale?
Oh, wasn't it true then?
Last summer, I made use of Tesman to see me home from parties, and one evening we happened to pass by this house. Tesman, poor thing, was turning and twisting. Oh, he couldn't think of a thing to say. Oh, I really felt sorry for the poor, wretched scholar.
Sorry? You?
Yes, I did, really. So just to make conversation, to help him out a bit, I was foolish enough to say what a charming house I thought this was and how I would love to live in it. And that make-believe, that resulted in my engagement, my wedding trip, and all the rest of it. Well, as they say, the way you make your bed, that's the way you lie in it.
Well, since we've made it so attractive and comfortable for you...
me, it smells of lavender and dried rose leaves. But one might call the Aunt Julie atmosphere. Oh, my dear Judge, I can't tell you how I shall bore myself here.
I don't think you've ever really been stirred by anything in life, but I expect it will come. Suppose you should suddenly find yourself faced with what one might call a grave responsibility, a new responsibility, Mrs. Hedda.
Be quiet. Nothing of the sort will happen to me.
We'll talk of this again a year from now at the very latest.
That sort of thing doesn't appeal to me. No responsibilities for me. I am not fitted for...
Well, what makes you think you're less fitted
be quiet, I tell you. Sometimes I think there's only one thing in life that I'm really fitted for.
What's that?
Boring myself to death. Now you know.
I love dog. At last we meet again. Oh, come, give me your cloak.
Thank you. Thanks for your letter, George.
Oh, not at all.
May I shake hands with you too, Mrs. Tesman?
Welcome, Mr. Lerboy. I don't know if you two gentlemen...
It's Judge Brack, I believe.
I had that pleasure some years ago.
I've just bought your new book, Eilert. I haven't had time to read it yet.
I wouldn't bother to if I were you. It's pretty thin stuff.
It's been enormously praised, I hear.
That was exactly what I intended, so I put nothing in it that anyone could take exception to. But when this one appears, George Tesman, you must read it. This is the real book.
Oh, what's it about?
It's the sequel.
Sequel? Sequel of what?
Oh, the other book.
What, of the new one?
Of course.
For goodness me, that goes down to the present day.
Yes, but this one deals with the future.
The future? Well, none of us knows anything about the future.
There's a thing or two to be said about it, just the same.
Oh, how remarkable, isn't I? Well, I should never have thought of writing about a thing like that.
No, you wouldn't.
I brought it along with me, George, because I thought I might read you some of it this evening.
Oh, that's awfully kind of you, Eilert, but I'm afraid this evening...
Well, as a matter of fact, Mr. Lerberg, I'm giving a little party this evening to celebrate Tesman's return.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm sorry. Thank you very much.
But I'd be delighted if you'd join us.
I mustn't keep you, thank you.
Oh, but you can bring your manuscript and read it to Tesman in my house. I'll give you a room all to yourself.
Oh, think of that, Eilert.
George, dear, if Mr. Lerberg says he doesn't want to, I'm sure Mr. Lerberg would much prefer to stay here and have supper with me.
With you, Mrs. Tesman?
Mrs. Elfstead will be here, too.
Oh, yes, I saw her for a moment today.
Oh, did you? Well, she's spending the evening here. So you see, you're almost obliged to stay, Mr. Lerberg. Otherwise, Mrs. Elfstead will have no one to see her home.
In that case, I will stay, Mrs. Tesman.
Good, I'll tell the so.
Good. No, come on. They told me at the bookstore that you're preparing a series of lectures.
Yes, I hope you've no objection.
Well, I can't expect you, out of consideration for me, to...
Well, of course, I shall wait until you receive your appointment.
What? You mean you're not going to compete with me?
No, I simply want people to realize that I could have defeated you.
Oh, Hedda, think of that. Eilert isn't going to stand in our way.
In our way. Please keep me out of it. And now, gentlemen, how would you like a glass of cold arrack punch before you go?
That's not a bad idea.
Oh, it's a capital idea, especially now that a heavy weight has been taken off my mind.
Won't you join them, Mr. Lerberg?
No, thank you, nothing for me now.
But surely cold punch isn't poison?
Perhaps not for everyone.
Well, then you go in and I will sit here and keep Mr. Lerberg company.
Yes, do that, Hedda, dear, do that.
Perhaps you'd like to look at some photographs, Mr. Lerberg. You see, Tesman and I did a lot of sightseeing in the Alps, and I'd like to show you. Oh, look at that group of mountains. That's the Ortler group. Oh, yes, Tesman has written here underneath. The Ortler group near Meran.
Hedda Gabler. Hedda Gabler.
That was my name in the old days, when you and I knew each other.
Then I must never say Hedda Gabler again.
No.
Hedda Gabler married to George Tesman. How could you throw yourself away like that?
I won't have you say such things.
Hedda, dear.
Now, look at this. This is a view from the Ampezzo Valley. Look at those peaks. Oh, George, dear, what is the name of these curious peaks?
Oh, those are the Dolomites.
Oh, the Dolomites, Mr. Lowboy.
Hedda, dear, you sure you wouldn't like me to bring you a glass of punch, eh?
I think I'll have some. And a few biscuits, hmm?
Yes, yes. A cigarette?
No.
How could you do it, Hedda? Answer me.
If you go on calling me Hedda, I won't talk to you.
Not even if we're alone?
You may think it, but you mustn't say it.
Because you love George Tesman.
How funny you are.
It's not love, then. Hedda.
All the same, no unfaithfulness.
Here we are.
Oh, your poor two glasses.
It's such fun to wait on you. Have two
Mr.
glasses.
Mr. Lowboy said he didn't want any, dear.
Well, Mrs. Elstead will be here any minute now.
Yes, Mrs. Elstead.
Why, had you forgotten about her?
Yes, we were so engrossed in these photographs. Do you remember that little village?
Oh, well, that's the one at the foot of the Brenner Pass. Yes, don't you remember we stayed the night there?
Yes, and ran into that gay company of tourists.
Yes. Pity you weren't there with us, Islet, eh?
You didn't love me at all? No, not at all.
I wonder. Sometimes I think, to me it seems we were just two good, intimate friends who could tell each other intimate things. At least you did.
It was you who teased me into it, Hedda. You remember all those things? All those wild things you made me confess to you? Every drunken spree, every indecent, defiling act I ever committed, or ever thought of committing, you made me boast of. And then deviously, you'd probe deeper, always deeper. How could you bring yourself to ask the things you did?
But in a devious way, if you please.
Shamelessly.
How could you bring yourself to answer them, Mr.
I
Lowboy?
thought they were asked out of love. I thought you were trying to purge me, to help me.
No, it was not love.
Then why?
Is it not understandable that a young girl might be tempted to investigate a world she's supposed to know nothing about? A man's world, especially if she can do it in secret and with no risk. You were my guide, my teacher, burning and unashamed, like a young god with vine leaves in your hair. It was beautiful.
And then why did it end?
You were to blame for that.
You broke with me.
You wanted to spoil our intimacy. You wanted to drag it down to reality. You talk of my boldness, my shamelessness. Why did you try to abuse them?
So you threatened to shoot me.
I was frightened. I realized the danger.
But why didn't you go through with it?
Because I'm that afraid of scandal.
Yes, Hedda. You're a coward at heart.
Lucky for you, isn't it? You got ample consolation up at the Elsteds.
I know that Thea has confided in you.
Had you told Thea about us?
Oh, not a word, no. She's too stupid to understand. In certain things, she's naive.
And I, a coward. Now I'll confess something to you.
Well,
My not daring to shoot you
yes.
was not my greatest cowardice that night.
Oh, Hedda Gabler, you and I. That was your craving for life, not just unhealthy curiosity. You needed to be fulfilled. You wanted someone that was love.
Shh, be careful, I didn't say that.
Mrs. Elstead.
Oh, Thea, dearest, I thought you'd never come.
Shouldn't I go and say good evening to your husband?
No, you needn't bother about them. They'll soon be off.
Are they going out?
Yes, to a wild party to have a jolly time.
You're not going, are you?
No, Mr. Lowboy will stay here with us.
Oh, how nice it is to be here.
Thea, no, Thea, now you be a good girl and sit over there next to me, and I will sit between you.
Just as you like.
Is she lovely to look at?
Only to look at?
And then we have such absolute faith in each other. We can speak with perfect frankness.
But not in a devious way, Mr. Lowboy.
You know, He actually says I've inspired him in his work.
Does he really?
And then she has such courage, Mrs. Tesman.
Oh, good heavens, courage.
If one only had that.
Then
Life might perhaps be endurable after all. Oh, Thea, my dear, you must have a glass of cold punch.
Oh, no, thank you. I never take anything like that.
And how about you, Mr.
No,
Gabler?
not for
No,
me,
he
thank
doesn't
you.
either.
But if I want you to?
Makes no difference.
Oh, poor me. Have I no power over you at all, then?
Not in that respect.
But seriously, I think you ought to take it for your own sake.
Why,
do you
Hedda?
mean?
Well, people might begin to suspect that you're not quite sure, not quite confident in yourself.
Don't, Hedda.
People may suspect whatever they like.
Yes, let them.
You should have seen Judge Brack's contemptuous smile when you didn't dare to join them in there.
Didn't dare?
Well, that's what Judge Brack thought.
Didn't dare? I simply prefer to stay here with you.
You are not going, then?
No, I'm going to stay here and talk with you and Taya.
Yes, Hedda, of course he is.
There, you see? Firm as a rock, faithful to all good principles now and forever. That's how a man should be, especially a converted sinner. You see that? What did I tell you, Thea, when you came running here this morning? Didn't I tell you not to be so upset?
Oh, Hedda, please,
Yes,
Hedda.
you see there, you have not the slightest reason to be so anxious and worried.
What's all this about?
But now we can all three enjoy ourselves. You see how unfair you've been to doubt him.
God, Hedda, what are you doing?
So you were worried and anxious on my account?
Oh, listen to me, Islet.
That's all the faith you have in me?
Oh, listen to me, Islet. It was just that you were alone in the city with no one.
Your health, Taya.
Oh, Hedda, how could you do this?
I do. Are you mad?
And yours too, Mrs. Desmond. Thank you for your frankness.
No more for the moment. You're going to the party, remember?
Did your husband know you came after me? It was arranged between you, wasn't it? That you should come to town and keep an eye on me? Most likely the old man suggested it himself. But suppose he need my help at the office or missed my presence at the card table? Let's drink to the old sheriff, too.
No more now. You're going to read your manuscript to George.
I'm behaving like a fool, Taya. I'm sorry. It's all right now. All right. I'll prove it to you. I'll prove it to everyone that I'm all right again. I'm back on my feet.
Well, it's time to go, Mrs. Tesman. Mrs. Elfstead.
I suppose it is.
Since you were kind enough to invite me, Judge Brack, I have decided to join you.
I'm
look,
delighted.
No. I'll call for you, Taya, around 10 o'clock. Is that all right, Mrs.
That
Tesman?
would be splendid.
I'll wait for you here, Mr. Lopo.
Well, gentlemen, shall we start? I hope we're going to have a jolly good time, as a certain lovely lady puts it.
If only the lovely lady could be there, unseen,
Why unseen?
so as to share a little in your unbridled fun.
I shouldn't advise the lovely lady to try.
You're a nice one, Hedda. Think of that.
Goodbye,
Around
ladies.
10 then.
Oh,
Yes, Mr. Leopold.
you won't expect me back so early, dear.
Oh, you can stay as long as you wish, George.
Hedda, where is all this going to end?
It's all right playing cards and gambling, and it's all right drinking beer and rum. Oh, it's all right playing cards and gambling, and it's all right drinking beer and rum. But keeping company.
I won't waste any words on that little rear guard of puny, narrow-chested, self-important men. The stream of life has already left them far behind. I'm thinking of the few. The rare spirits amongst us who have had the vision to recognize the truth in new ideas, new ways of thought, and have made those ways their own. Oh. Thank you. Where was I, tell you?
With those rare spirits that have the vision to face newborn truths, well, it's magnificent, Ida, simply magnificent.
Newborn truth, yes. Too new and too daring to be accepted by the so-called sacred majority.
Soon he'll be here with vine leaves in his hair, flushed and fearless. believe in himself again, and he'll be a free man forever and ever.
Pray God you may be right.
I am right. Doubt him as much as you want. I believe in him.
Why have you done this, Hedda?
For once in my life, I want the power to shape a human destiny.
You have your husband.
Do you think he's worth bothering about? If only knew how cheated I've become. Never to have tasted life. Really taste it and then see it wasted on a silly schoolgirl. I think I shall have to burn your hair.
Let me go! I'm afraid of you. I want to go home alone now at once.
Oh, you'll do nothing of the sort, you silly little thing. You'll have a nice cup of coffee, and then I'll at Löfborg will be here. With violence.
No, wait, I haven't finished. Question. If this book is the great work that my friend Tesman says it is, and I say it is, how could I have written it?
Question. How can you stand up?
Answer, because I was inspired. Inspired by the most beautiful, delicate understanding. Beautiful, delicate creature in the universe. It was she alone. And don't ask me her name.
What was her name?
Even in the vaulted halls of this ancient college. Gracious Chancellor.
Hear, hear. To the mysterious muse of Eilert Löfborg.
I really think we ought to get him home. You know, he's quite drunk. I'll go and get my...
Even here.
I know what he needs. Breakfast. And I know just the place for it. Chez Mademoiselle Diane.
C'est un déjeuner à la française. I'll come with you. I'm right here. Find the turn of the stair. Hurry up, Desmond.
Hold on, wait for me.
Why didn't you give it back to him at once?
I didn't dare trust him with it in the state he was in.
Did you tell any of the others that you found it?
Oh, of course not. I didn't want them to know.
Why not?
For Eilert's sake, of course.
You'll wake Mrs. Elfstead. Tell me, George, did he have vine leaves in his hair?
Vine leaves? No, well, I didn't see any vine leaves. Oh, Hedda, you can't conceive what a book this is going to be. You know, I think it's going to be one of the most important books ever written. Think of that, Hedda, eh? And, you know, I must confess something. When he'd finished reading it, I had the most awful feeling, terrible feeling.
Terrible feeling?
Yes. I felt quite jealous of Eilert for being able to write such a book. Think of that, eh?
I am thinking. I'm absolutely frozen.
No, it really is appalling that with all his great gifts, he should be so irresponsible. Just think what he'll feel like when he wakes up and he can't find his manuscript. There's no other copy. He told me so himself.
Tell me, George, would it be quite impossible to write such a book again?
Oh, I should think so. You see, there's the inspiration.
Yes, the inspiration. I suppose it depends on that. Oh, by the way, here's a letter for you. It came by messenger from Aunt Julia a little while ago.
Oh, really? Oh, Hedda, she says that Aunt Rena is dying. I really have to hurry if I'm going to see her again. Hedda, dear, if only you could bring yourself to come with me. Eh?
I'll have nothing to do with sickness and death. I loathe anything ugly.
Oh, very well, then. My hat and my overcoat. Oh, the manuscript.
I'll take care of it until you come back.
Oh, pray heaven I won't be too late.
Forgive my entering this way. Hardly dressed for a formal call. I've been up all night. Haven't even changed my clothes.
So it was more than usually jolly last night.
What has Tesman told you of last night's adventures?
Nothing much. He just went off to see his aunt.
Did he say nothing about Islet Löfborg?
Only that he'd been escorted home.
Oh, George Tesman really is a naive creature.
And what happened last night? If it's not too unmentionable.
Oh, it's by no means unmentionable. To make a long story short, he turned up at Mademoiselle Diane's.
Mademoiselle Diane, isn't that red-haired woman? A sort of a singer.
Yes, in her leisure moments. In the days of his glory, Löfborg was one of her most ardent visitors.
What happened, Judge?
Well, it seems Mademoiselle Diane proceeded to tear out his hair. He'd accused her of robbing him, a valuable notebook or something. He raised a terrific row which ended in a general free-for-all, in which the women as well as the men took part.
How do you know all this?
From the police. They were called in to the fray.
Then he had no vine leaves in his hair, after all.
Vine leaves, Mrs. Hedda?
Tell me, why are you so interested in spying on Löfborg?
I felt it my duty as a friend of the family to give you and Tesman the full account of his nocturnal exploits.
For what reason?
From now on, every respectable house will be closed to Löfborg.
You mean mine ought to be too?
I admit, it would be painful for me if he should be welcome here. If this superfluous person should force his way into the...
Triangle.
Precisely. It would simply mean that I should find myself homeless.
I see. You want to be cock of the walk, Judge. That is your aim.
And I'll fight with every weapon at my command.
I wonder if you're not a rather dangerous person.
Do you think so, Mrs. Hedda?
Yes, I'm beginning to think so, and I'm very glad you have no hold over me.
Well, perhaps you're right, for if I had, who knows what I might think of.
Oh, come on now, come, Judge. It almost sounds like a threat.
Oh, by no means. For the triangle should be based on mutual understanding, if possible.
There I entirely agree with you.
Well, having said what I have to say, goodbye, Mrs. Hedda.
So you are going through the garden.
Yes, it's a shortcut for me.
And then it's the back door, isn't it?
Very true. I've no objection to back doors. They can be intriguing at times.
When there's shooting going on, you mean?
People don't shoot their pet rooster.
And certainly not the cock of the walk, Judge. Goodbye.
Right away.
It's rather late to call for Thea, Mr. Löfborg.
Rather early to call on you, forgive me.
How do you know that she's still
They
here?
told me she hadn't been back to her lodgings.
Violet, at last.
Yes, and too late.
What's too late?
Everything's too late. It's all up with me.
Oh, you mustn't say that.
You'll say the same when you're here.
But I don't want to hear
Perhaps
anything.
you'd rather talk to her alone.
No, please, stay.
But I don't want to hear anything, I tell you.
I have no intention of discussing what went on last night. It's just that I want you to know that we must not see each other again.
Why?
I no longer have any need for you, Thea.
How can you say that?
I shall never work again.
Then what have I to live for?
Oh, look, Thea, you've got to try and live as if you'd never known me.
But you know I can't
You
do
have to try, Thea.
You don't mean it.
Go home, Thea. Forget me.
I won't let you drive me away. I want to be with you when the book is published.
The book will not be published.
No, oh. What have you done with the manuscript? Where is it?
I've torn it into 1,000 pieces.
Oh, no.
But that's not...
Not true, you think?
Of course, it must be if you say so.
I've torn my life to pieces. Why shouldn't I tear up my work as well?
It's as though you killed a little child.
It's as if I'd murdered my own child.
It was my child, too. Oh, the child. I'll go now, Hedda.
What are you going to do?
I don't know.
Now, Hedda, tell me the truth.
First, give me your word that Taya will never know.
I give you my word.
One can do worse things to a child than kill it. I couldn't tell Taya that I dragged it around with me all night to all sorts of obscene and loathsome places, and I lost our child. I lost it.
Stop calling it a child. It was only a book.
Taya's soul was in that book.
Yes, so I understand. What are you going to do with your life now?
Nothing. It's over.
Will you make an end of it?
The sooner the better.
If you do, let it be beautiful.
Beautiful. Shall I put vine leaves in my hair, as you wanted me to in the old days?
I don't believe in vine leaves anymore, but for once, let it be beautiful. Wait a minute, I'll give you something of mine to take with you. As a token. Do you remember this?
You should have done it then.
Take it. Use it now.
Thanks.
Let it be beautiful. Eyelet Löfborg. Promise me that.
Goodbye. Hedda Gabler.
Burning your child. Yours and Eyelet Löfborg's child. You with your curly hair. I'm burning it. I'm burning your child. I'm burning it. I'm burning it.
How strange life is. At home we shall be sewing a funeral shroud, and soon I expect there will be sewing here too. But of a different nature, thank heavens. I'm just going, my dear boy.
I'll have to come over and see you in the morning, Auntie. My brain's in such a whirl, I don't know what I'm doing.
You mustn't take it so much to heart, George. We must be grateful that dear Rena has found rest at last.
I'm afraid you'll be very lonely now, Miss Tesman.
I shall be at first, but I shan't let Rena's room stay empty for long. There's always some poor invalid that has to be looked after.
Would you take such a burden on yourself again?
Burden? Oh, bless you, it's no burden.
But it's different with a stranger.
I must have someone to live for. And it's easier to make friends with someone who is sick. And who knows? Someday there may be something in this house for an old aunt to take care of.
Please don't trouble about us.
Everything will be for the best, eh?
I must get back to poor Rena.
Yes, dear.
No, don't see me out, dear. I'm perfectly all right.
Oh.
Aunt Rena's death seems to affect you more than it does Aunt Julie.
Well, it's not only that. I'm upset about Isla, too.
Have you heard anything new?
No. No, I called on him this afternoon to tell him that the manuscript was safe, but he wasn't at home. Later, I met Mrs. Elfstead, and she said that he'd been here early this morning.
Yes.
And he told her that he'd torn his manuscript to pieces.
Yes, that's what he said.
Good heavens, he must have gone completely mad. Well, of course, in that case, you didn't dare give it him, eh?
No, he didn't get it.
Ah. But you told him that we have it, eh?
No, you didn't tell Mrs. Elfstead.
No. No, give me the manuscript, Hedda, and I'll run over with it at once. Where is it, Hedda?
I haven't got it any longer.
You haven't got it? What do you mean?
I've burnt it, every word of it.
You burnt Isla's manuscript!
Don't shout!
But it's impossible! It's true. Oh, how could you do such a thing? Oh, Hedda, this is unlawful appropriation of lost property. Now, you ask Judge Brack.
You had better not to speak to anyone.
But
Either
why?
Judge Brack or to anyone else.
Why did you do it? What possessed you? No, answer me!
I did it for your sake, George.
For my sake?
You admitted that you were jealous of his work, and I couldn't bear the thought of anyone putting you in the shade.
Oh, but you've never shown your love like that before, Hedda.
Perhaps I should better tell you that now. At this time, But you said yourself that I was filling out. No, ask Aunt Julie. She'll tell you all about it.
Good heavens, is it true?
Oh, don't shout. The servant will hear you.
The servant, why, it's only my dear old Bertha. I can't wait to tell her myself.
I can't stand it. I'll die from it.
But what is it, Hedda?
Oh, George, it's all so ludicrous.
Ludicrous? But I should be overjoyed at such news. I can't wait to tell Aunt Julie. She'll be so happy. Oh, so happy.
When she hears that I have burned Ida Lerberg's manuscript for your sake.
Yes, the manuscript. I'd forgotten about that. Nobody must know about the manuscript. Poor Isla. Makes me feel terrible.
Mr. Tesman. Oh,
What has
Hedda.
happened? What is it?
I'm terribly afraid something's happened to Islet Lovborg.
Do you think so?
When I went back to my lodging, I heard them talking about him. They stopped the moment I came in. I didn't dare question them. They
Excuse
said...
me. Oh, it's you, my dear Judge.
Yes. It's imperative that I see you at once.
Why, something happened?
Yes.
It's about Islet Lovborg.
I'm sorry to say he's been taken to the hospital. They say he's dying.
Oh, God!
To the hospital. Dying?
There.
Mrs. Elster. There you are.
So soon, then.
I parted from him in anger, Hedda. I must go to him. I must see him.
I'm afraid it's useless. No one is allowed to see him.
Why? What is it?
He didn't try to kill himself, did he?
I'm sure he did.
Hedda, how can you?
Unfortunately, you've guessed quite correctly, Mrs. Tesman.
Oh, how horrible.
Killed himself? Think
Shot
of that.
himself.
You're right again, Mrs. Tesman.
When did it happen?
This afternoon between 3 and 4.
Yes, but where did it happen?
Where? Well, I suppose at his lodging.
Oh, no, it couldn't have been there. I was there myself between 6 and 7.
Well, somewhere else. I don't know exactly. I only know that he was found, that he'd shot himself through the heart.
How horrible. To die like that.
Through the heart.
Yes.
Through the heart.
Most likely it is already over.
Oh, all over.
At last, something courageous.
Heavens, Hedda, how can you say such a thing?
I say there's great beauty in this. Islet Lerberg had the courage to do the one right thing.
No, you mustn't believe that. He did it in delirium.
No, in despair.
No, I'm sure he didn't. I'm sure of that.
He must have been delirious, as he was when he tore up our manuscript.
He tore up the manuscript?
Yes, last night.
How Very extraordinary.
We shall never get over this, Hedda. Fancy, Eilert killed and his book destroyed, too.
If only there was some way of saving it.
If only there were. There's nothing I wouldn't give to.
Perhaps there is a way, Mr. Tesman.
What do you mean?
Look, I've kept all Isla's own notes for you to dictate to me from.
You have?
I'm afraid they're dreadfully mixed up.
Well, perhaps together we might be able to sort them out.
Well, we could try at any rate.
We will try at once. I owe it to Eilert. My own work will simply have to wait. I'm going to devote my life to this.
You, George, your life.
Yes, now we're going to start sorting out the notes at once. Come on, where shall we sit, Mrs. Elster? No, perhaps we'd better go in there. Sit down.
Eilert Lovborg meant more to you than you're willing to admit, even to yourself. Or am I mistaken?
I don't answer questions like that. I only know that Eilert Lovborg had the courage to live his life as he saw it and end it in beauty. He had the strength and the will to break with life while still so vital.
It pains me, but I fear I must rob you of your beautiful illusion.
Illusion?
It didn't happen exactly as I told it. For poor Mrs. Elsted's sake, I changed the facts slightly.
What are the facts, then?
Well, first, he's already dead, without regaining consciousness.
What else have you concealed?
Then the tragedy did not happen at his lodging.
That makes no difference.
Not even when I tell you that he was found shot in Mademoiselle Diane's boudoir.
Oh, he couldn't have gone there again.
He went there to claim something that he said they'd taken from him, talking wildly about a lost child. I thought he must have meant the manuscript, but now I hear he's destroyed that himself.
So he died there.
Yes. They found a pistol in his pocket. It had gone off, probably accidentally, wounding him fatally.
Accidentally, through the heart?
No, in the bowels.
How hideous. Everything I touch becomes ludicrous and despicable.
There's something else, Mrs. Hedda, something rather disturbing.
What's that?
The pistol he carried.
What of it?
He must have stolen it.
That's not true.
Because any other explanation ought to be out of the question, Mrs. Hedda.
Indeed?
Of course, Lovborg was here this morning, was he not?
Yes.
Were you alone with him?
Yes, for a while.
Did you leave the room at any time while he was here?
No.
No, try to remember. Are you sure you didn't leave the room, even for a moment?
I might have gone out into the war.
And where?
Oh, just for a moment.
Where was your pistol case?
It was on my...
Well, Mrs. Hedda?
It was on my writing desk.
Have you looked since to see if both pistols were there?
No.
Well, you needn't. I saw the pistol he had with him. I recognized it as the one I'd seen yesterday, and before that, too.
My dear Mrs. Elfstead, we must pull ourselves together.
Have you got it by any chance?
No. The police have it.
What will the police do with it?
Search until they find the owner.
And do you think they will succeed?
No. Hedda Gabler. Not so long as I keep silent.
And if you do not keep silent, what then?
One could always say the pistol was stolen.
Oh, I'd rather die.
People say such things, but they don't do them.
And if the pistol were found, were not stolen, and the owner were found, then what?
Why, then, Hedda, think of the scandal. The scandal, yes, of which you are so terrified. Naturally, you would have to appear in court with Mademoiselle Diane. She'd have to explain how the thing happened, whether it was an accident or not.
What have I got to do with this repulsive
You
business?
still have to answer the question, why did you give Lovborg the pistol? And what conclusion would people draw from the fact that you had given it to him?
I never thought of that.
Well, fortunately, there's no danger so long as I keep silent.
And you'll keep silent as long as I do what you wish. That's what you mean, isn't it?
Dearest Hedda, believe me, I shall not abuse my advantage.
But I shall be in your hands all the same. Subject to your will and your desires. No longer free, not free. Oh, I can't bear that thought, never.
People manage to get used to the inevitable.
Yes, perhaps they do. Dear, how are you getting along with Ida Löfberg's memorial?
I'm afraid it's all very difficult.
You think you'll manage, George, eh?
Oh, yes, we'll manage. After all, sorting out and arranging other people's papers. Something I'm particularly good at. But I'm afraid it's going to take months to do.
Think of that. Oh, Thea, doesn't it seem strange? Here you are working with Tesman. Just like you used to work with Eilert Löfborg.
If only I could inspire your husband in the same way.
No doubt that will come in time. Is there nothing at all that I can do for the two of you?
No, thank you, dear. No, not a thing. I think you'll have to keep company for Hedda for the rest of the evening, my dear Judge.
With the greatest of pleasure.
Thanks, but I'm a little tired this evening, and if you don't mind, I'll lie down for a while.
Hedda, please, I implore you, not that music. Think of poor Rena, and of Isla, too.
And of Aunt Julie and all the rest of them. Well, never mind. I'll be quiet from now on, I promise you.
I think she's upset at seeing us doing such distressing work. Look, why don't you move over to Aunt Yuli's? Then I can come and work with you there in the evenings, eh?
Oh, I think that would be a good idea.
Tesman, I can hear you. And what am I to do all those long evenings here? By myself.
I'm quite sure Judge Brack will be glad to come in now and then.
Every single evening, with the greatest of pleasure, Mrs. Tesman. We'll have a jolly good time together, you and I.
Yes. That's what you hope, isn't it? Now that you are cock of the walk.
Great heavens, she's playing with those pistols again. Hedda, dear, I asked you, dear, when... She shot herself. She shot herself.
Good God. But people don't do such things.
Makeup by Tommy Manderson. This program has been pre-recorded.